The events begin with a group of criminals trying to smuggle a huge quantity of weapons. When the Korean police find out, they attempt to stop them with the help of the Chinese police. However, the criminals use their weapons and manage to escape. The next day, a detective named Chow goes to the head of the police department, telling him that he will take a large support team to stop the operation before it is completed. But the chief refuses due to the major conflicts between them and South Korea. Instead, he hands Chow the file of a new police officer named Yu, instructing him to send her on the mission instead. Detective Chow protests, arguing that Yu is still in training and cannot face arms dealers. The chief responds indifferently, stating that he knows she won't be able to handle it, which is exactly why he is sending her to face her fate. Meanwhile, a young man named So-han is sitting in his private investigation agency, visibly struggling under difficult circumstances. Almost everyone around him owes money, even the agency's owner, who enters almost daily to argue with him about the overdue rent. Then, we see Officer Yu, who meets with Detective Chow to have the mission details explained to her. She appears very innocent and nowhere near ready for such a dangerous mission. Detective Chow warns her that the mission is extremely risky and that she could even die during it. He asks her to be extremely cautious because, no matter what happens, they won't be able to provide her with support due to the conflict between the countries. She responds, "So you're sending your niece?" Then she confidently says, "Don't worry, Chief, I can handle it." She leaves immediately. Later, Detective Chow heads to a football field to meet a secret agent named Sarab. He asks Sarab to help Young with her mission and teach her more about such operations since he is an expert in them. Of course, Sarab agrees, and it is clear that he and Detective Chow share a strong bond. Suddenly, cameras turn towards them. Startled, they rush away quickly since they are on a secret mission and no one should see them. Then, Detective Sarab goes to So-han to rent his agency. He plans to lease it for a month to complete their secret mission. When Sarab offers So-han the money, So-han happily agrees, as the sum is large and he is already in heavy debt to many people. The secret agent Sarab goes to get the money for So-han, but just as luck he gets hit by a car while crossing the street. So-han waits for him all day, but Sarab never shows up. He assumes Sarab left because of the high rent he requested. The next day, Detective Chow believes Sarab is at the agreed location, so he sends Officer Yu to meet with him and start the mission. When Yu arrives, she finds So-han there instead. Since she doesn't know what Sarab looks like, she starts treating So-han as if he were Sarab. Meanwhile, So-han assumes she is a client visiting his agency to look for something she lost. Suddenly, Yu tells him that this is an assassination mission and that even the police won't be able to help them. So-han is completely confused. What assassination mission? Just as he is about to explain that there is a misunderstanding, Yu offers him a huge sum of money, telling him that it's only the first installment. Of course, since he is broke, his eyes light up at the money, and he starts acting as if he is Sarab. He turns out to be incredibly skilled and convincing at lying, so much so that Yu truly believes he is Sarab. But after a while, he tells her that he forgot his role in the mission and asks her to explain it to him again. Yu then begins to go over his part in the mission. Suddenly, the shop owner walks in. Yu panics and quickly erases everything. The landlord is about to scold So-han for being late on rent, but So-han swiftly reacts before he gets exposed, handing him 3 months' rent in advance from the money Yu gave him. As the landlord leaves, Yu tells So-han that this place isn't secure enough for discussing the mission and suggests finding another location. So-han reassures her, saying, "Don't worry, that was just someone borrowing money from me, nothing more. Go on, continue." Just as she is about to resume the explanation, another woman rushes in, exclaiming, "Help me, my son is missing." Since So-han owns the agency, it's his responsibility to assist her. He calmly tells her, "Take a seat, and you go grab us 2 coffees from anywhere." Despite being frustrated with So-han, Yu plays along, pretending he is her boss to avoid suspicion. Soon, it's revealed that the missing son is the woman's dog. So-han tries to refuse the job, but she tempts him with money, his one weakness. So, naturally, he agrees. After she leaves, Yu has had enough. She angrily tells So-han that if he doesn't pull himself together, she'll do it for him. Finally, They get back to discussing the mission. Yu tells Sohan that they will be heading to the location where the gang leader is. You will distract the gang leader while Sohan takes his phone and transfers the data. Of course, Sohan is completely clueless about what's going on, but he definitely won't show it, so he confidently tells her he understands everything. After explaining the details of the mission, Yu tells him she's leaving to prepare, that they'll meet at the designated spot tomorrow. Sohan then asks her to wear a beautiful dress to complete the mission. Despite her confusion, she reluctantly agrees because she has heard that Agent Sarab is highly skilled in such operation. The next day, Yu arrives at the location. As soon as she walks in, everyone makes fun of her for wearing a dress to a sports venue. To make matters worse, Sohan shows up in a full suit, adding fuel to the fire. As they start dancing, the gang leader, Park, is noticeably impressed by Yu's dress and approaches her to dance. Yu skillfully manages to take his phone and hands it to Sohan to extract the data. Sohan steps away for a bit, and when he returns, he casually continues dancing as if nothing happened. To return the phone to Park, they pretend to fall to the ground, taking it with them and discreetly tossing it back near him. After the dance session, the gang leader heads off to make a phone call. Suddenly, a mysterious figure appears and injects him with something, causing him to collapse. Yu suggests that they leave immediately before the police arrive, but Sohan, ever the strategist, tells her, "If we leave now, the police will suspect us, you idiot. The best thing to do is to stay since we haven't done anything wrong." She listens to his advice, and soon enough, they find themselves at the police station. During the investigation, the detective discovers that Park died from a heart attack, meaning they are innocent. However, the department chief remains suspicious of them due to their strange attire and odd behavior. He instructs the officers to investigate them thoroughly, convinced they are hiding something. On their way home, Yu tells Sohan that there must be a powerful force behind Park's assassination. She insists that they need to stay sharp, because things are about to get even more difficult. Yu asks Sohan about the copy he took from Park's phone before he died. Sohan tells her that he couldn't get a copy because the phone's port was different from the USB port. Yu is completely frustrated with his incompetence, and they argue the entire way back. When Yu leaves Sohan, she calls Detective Chan, telling him that she suspects the man he assigned her to isn't a secret agent and knows nothing about undercover work. Chan reassures her, saying that deception is his true talent and that he earned the name Sarab because of his ability to conceal his identity from people. Meanwhile, the real agent Sarab is lying in a hospital bed, barely hanging on after being hit by a car, only for Sohan to unknowingly steal his mission. The next day, Yu visits Sohan and tells him that the leader of the rodeo gang was shot dead the previous night. She asks him to help her understand street gangs better. Sohan immediately responds that he knows nothing about them, but Yu has already discovered his weakness. She tells him, "Alright, then give me the money back, and I'll go find someone who does." Of course, Sohan quickly changes his tune and tells her he knows someone who can help them. He takes her to a fortune teller. There, the fortune teller tells them about a clan called Al-Fas, claiming they are likely behind all the troubles that have been happening. After leaving, Yu tells Sohan to prepare himself, as they are heading to meet the Al-Fas clan. Sohan, terrified by the rumors he's heard, refuses to go, using the excuse that he was still a rookie and shouldn't confront them. Fed up, Yu snaps, saying, "I've had enough of you." Then she punches him in the face, drags him along, and heads straight to the clan leader. When they arrive, they begin questioning the leader about the recent crime. He firmly denies knowing anything about it. Suddenly, another gang barges in and starts shooting at everyone. Yu and Sohan quickly hide before they get caught in the crossfire. As Yu crouches beside Sohan, she notices blood on his t-shirt. Sohan assumes he's been shot by mistake and dramatically collapses to the ground. However, Yu soon realizes there's no wound under his shirt. The blood is actually from his nose, thanks to the punch she gave him earlier. When Sohan realizes he hasn't been shot, he immediately takes off running. The coward even leaves Yu behind in the chaos. But a short while later, Yu catches up to him, revealing that she managed to steal the phone of the Al-Fas clan leader before he was killed. She asks Sohan if he knows someone skilled enough to unlock the phone and retrieve the data. Still shaken from his near-death experience, Sohan says he's done with this mission. Yu simply responds, Alright then, give me my money back. Sohan, truly exhausted, agrees to return the money. But Yu, using her secret weapon, offers him an extra $10,000 on top of what she initially paid him. Of course, Sohan accepts immediately. He takes her to someone who can unlock the phone. Sure enough, his friend successfully cracks it, and they retrieve the address of a member from an even larger gang. Meanwhile, the police have arrived to investigate the crime scene where the two gangs clash. Security cameras capture Yu and Sohan, raising even more suspicion about them. Later, Sohan and Yu head to the address they found on the phone. There, they discover the gang member dead in the bathroom. The method of his death is so precise that it appears to be a suicide. Yu becomes more certain that a powerful and highly skilled gang is behind everything happening. They retrieve some useful information from the phone they found. Yu then tells Sohan that the gang is hosting a big party tomorrow. She suggests wearing a dress to charm the gang leader while he takes care of the real task. Sohan scoffs, saying, "Charm who? You, the couch potato? Look at the real ladies and stay quiet." Meanwhile, the police have been monitoring them and discovered that Yu is an agent for Chinese intelligence. However, they find no information on Sohan. He remains a complete mystery. The next day, they go ahead with their plan. They greet the gang leader and discreetly place a listening device inside his suit. But of course, luck is never on their side. The gang members recognize them from the shootout involving the Il Fast clan and suspect they are affiliated. Sohan then tells Yu that he reported the location of the body they found yesterday to the police. She immediately panics, asking, "You didn't call from your phone, did you?" Sohan reassures her, saying, "Oh way, I'm much smarter than that. I called from a public phone instead." The police investigate the apartment and find the card of the idiot who used it to unlock the room. Meanwhile, back with the rodeo gang, they finally uncovered Yu and Sohan's identities. Yu overhears their conversation through the listening device she placed on the gang leader. She discovers that a massive smuggling operation is about to take place very soon. Suddenly, the gang realizes that Yu and Sohan have been spying on them. They attempt to escape, but the gang members catch up with them, leading to an intense battle, with pots and pans flying everywhere. However, the gang's overwhelming numbers prove too much, and they manage to capture Yu and Sohan. They demand to know why they're there. Sohan immediately betrays Yu, handing her over without hesitation. He says to the gang leader, "I swear, I have no idea about anything. Yu is the one who hired me." The gang then decides to assign Sohan a task. They hand him a gun and order him to go to the police station and eliminate all the officers. But Sohan refuses to enter the station because his young relative is inside. Instead, he grabs the gang's gun, turns it against them, and escapes in a stolen car. However, his relative sees him and reports the car's license plate to the police. Soon, they chase him down and arrest him, now suspecting him of murder. At the police station, they interrogate Sohan and uncover that Yu is an agent from Chinese intelligence who came to Korea to stop a smuggling operation. Sohan protests, saying, "So instead of supporting us to stop this operation, you're arresting us?" The detective coldly responds, "Yu is sent into the gang as a sacrificial pawn. No one can stop missions like this." He then leaves the room and orders the other officer to follow the legal procedures and to imprison Sohan. Sohan, deeply frustrated, realizes that Yu is risking her life for people who don't even care about her fate. He takes advantage of the situation, seizing an officer's gun, threatening them, and hijacking a police car to go rescue Yu. Meanwhile, the gangs are proceeding with the smuggling operation. They plan to take Yu captive and bring her along with them. Meanwhile, the police begin digging deeper into Sohan's identity, trying to uncover more information about him. Through their investigation, the police uncovered that Sohan was once a combat trainer for Unit 707, one of the most elite fighting forces. No one can believe it, as he doesn't look the part at all. Meanwhile, Sohan arrives at the smuggling site, sneaking in to rescue Yu. Yu starts to believe he has feelings for her, and that's why he came to save her. But Sohan abruptly cuts off her train of thought, saying, "I came to get you because you still owe me $10,000, and I need it." Annoyed, she snaps, "Get lost. Your face is cursed." Suddenly, gang member barges in. Sohan swiftly handles him, allowing them to escape. On their way out, another gang member intercepts them. Sohan skillfully takes him down with impressive combat precision, leaving Yu in awe. This is the first time she's seen his high-level fighting abilities. They continue moving forward, encountering more enemies along the way, but they manage to defeat them, fighting their way through. Just as they think they're in the clear, an enemy sneaks up behind Sohan and grabs Yu, demanding that Sohan drop his weapon. Thinking fast, Sohan fires a shot at the overhead lamp, plunging the room into darkness. Yu seizes the opportunity, breaking free from her captor. Another gang member appears well-trained and begins fighting Sohan. During the battle, he manages to stab Sohan in the shoulder with a knife. Meanwhile, on the other side, Yu is locked in combat with the brute who had grabbed her. They continue brawling fiercely. Despite the difficulty of Sohan's fight, he ultimately overpowers his opponent. Yu also manages to defeat the brute, and Sohan grabs her as they move forward. After eliminating the entire gang, only their leader remains. He tries to flee, but Sohan catches up to him before he can escape. The gang leader tries to bargain, saying, "It would be better if we joined forces. Your combat skills combined with our weapons and money would make us unstoppable." Sohan refuses. Instead, he captures the gang leader and hands him over to the police. The authorities then arrest the gang members, sending them off to prison. After interrogating Sohan, they offer him a position as an undercover agent. He immediately refuses, saying, "Work for you? I've faced death a million times already." However, the officers have learned his one weakness. They reveal a suitcase filled with cash. Days after this chaotic disaster, Yu receives a new secret mission. She requests someone to assist her, and sure enough, they send her a particular person, and the person assigned to assist Yu turns out to be none other than Sohan. When Yu sees him, she can't believe it. She has to deal with his ridiculous antics again. Although she is exasperated, deep down, she is also thrilled to be reunited with him. And with that, the movie comes to an end. If you made it this far, don't forget to drop a glasses emoji in the comments so I know who enjoyed the summary. Also, make sure to like the video if you had fun and subscribe to the channel for all our latest uploads. Goodbye.